Interesting. New scenery. Look at that. Yes, I am alive, and I actually have moved again, and this is my new bedroom with my wall o Casablanca and a non-Casablanca bedroom fan. So, the video is focusing on the fan, of course. This is a 2003 Craftmade American Tradition, or MXL as it was originally called for about half a year. The model number is still an MXL. I don't really know if this specific fan was labeled American Tradition or MXL, but it is a relatively early production model of the series. It still utilizes the outgoing 4-5 blade motor design, even though it has the larger stack 188 by 20 millimeter spinner motor. And it's in the probably only available for about 3 to 4 years polished brass finish, which is another thing that no one else has ever seen. So I came across this fan off a marketplace right before I moved, and when I actually got to pick it up, I took the blades off because of course it was assembled when I came to get it. And lo and behold, the very first blade I removed revealed the red dot, which those of you who have 4-5 Craftmade fans, that is the spot where the first blade goes that will give you the correct layout for the 4-blade configuration as well as the properly balanced 5-blade configuration. 5-only models do not have this red dot at all. It was an indication for where you're supposed to start, again, so that the 4-blade configuration will actually work, and also for the 5-blade. So, I was really excited, and of course, that being said, I had to put it with 4 blades because I was always intrigued to find one of these in 4-5 blade, since it was listed for about a year or so in the catalogs as having this feature, and yet no one had found that yet. Also, no one has found one in polished brass, so that was another thing I was seeking. And so, of course, this showed up on Marketplace, and I grabbed it. So, this is obviously in my new bedroom. I have a 9-foot ceiling in this room, and this actually came with a 1-foot rod, so I just went ahead and kept it, because this fan is still about 8 feet above the floor, so it's fine. Also, this bedroom is the size of my old room in my first house. If y'all remember the blue room, that is my childhood home. This is about identical size. Of course, the ceiling is 1 foot higher, but otherwise it is the same. So it's nice to have more space again. I have this on a Hampton Bay universal remote. Not my favorite, but I bought it for another fan that it ended up not being used on it, and I thought, I could use the remote. I might eventually switch over to a Craftmade UCI 2000 universal remote, but I think for now I actually like this remote because it has a great low and medium speed. It actually pretty much has the values of a 3-speed Casablanca, which is nice. So, here's the light with the lowest setting. Go ahead and dim it up. I generally don't use the light kits on my fans, but at least in my bedroom. But I thought it'd be nice to display the glassware, which it didn't come with, and so I slapped this Craftmade F400 light kit on it. We'll go ahead and start off with low speed. Again, it's a very nice aesthetic low. The rosewood blades you see are courtesy of Patrick Neese, or that guy from the 724, which he now changed his name on YouTube too. It used to be Who Is This Guy 724. But yeah, it came with white blades, which are fine, but I kind of wanted something wood tone because I have some nice mahogany hardwood flooring in here, and I thought that it would look better. Also, because everything in my furniture is wood stained. I don't really like white furniture much, so, or gray. Some of the like green or whatever is cool in some applications, but I'm really more of a fan of the wood stained look, even in modern stuff. So course, this fan is quite well made and performs a lot better than a CXL because it has a larger motor stack and a 16-degree blade pitch. This was made to compete with the relatively newly released Regency MXL. Also I think at the time it was actually the Marquee MX during the time of this release. It may have changed by then, but I don't remember. I have catalogs with all this stuff, but I just am not fully versed in them yet. And the Minka Air Ultra Max, I believe, had come out by this time, and a bunch of other fans with a 16-degree pitch. Also, of course, Casablanca raised their pitch not too long before. So this was made to pretty much compete with those newly increased blade pitches. And it does an incredible job doing so. Go ahead and go to medium. Apologize for the washing machine operating in the background. I am next to the laundry room yet again, just like in the last house, and also next to the garage, just like in my last two houses, and I have a side of the house facing window, which is again something that I had in the last two houses. Now the laundry room was not, well, okay, it was sort of next to my room in my childhood home, but it wasn't directly on the other side of a wall. It was a little bit offset. It was actually on the other side of the bathroom wall, but it was still close to my room. So, it's been almost the same for the last few years, or rather my whole life. So here's medium speed. It is slower than the factory medium as well as the low speed. It is still quite functional though. Like I said, it's more of like a Delta 2 low speed and medium speed, because it's in that weird spot where it is, some people might consider it too slow for a medium and definitely too fast for a low. So there's quite a big difference between medium and high on this remote control. Apologize for the super long video. I figured I would give y'all a brief explanation, sort of, for why I haven't really been around. I've actually just not really been interested much in making much YouTube videos. I will probably do some later on, but I can't really promise anything because I'm trying to have actual big changes occur this year, so YouTube can be on the back burner, of course, for that. I also have a bunch of catalogs to scan for iHeart fans, which I haven't even started yet. So there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of non-fan related things to do as well. I haven't really been collecting much. I have got a few, probably about 5 or 6 fans this year so far. This is, of course, it's actually being filmed on the day I'm going to upload it, March 25th. So in 3 months, 3.5 months, or almost 4 months rather, I haven't really collected too much. And nothing I've collected I've actually paid for. Everything's been free. So anyway, here is high speed. We'll get to see the nice motor torque. Well, maybe not. It was already moving, I guess. It does have some good startup torque from 0 to high. So this thing actually manages to do above 200 RPMs despite the blade pitch, which is absolutely impressive considering that every other brand that has, every other brand that has a blade pitch like this really doesn't accomplish that. Now, I will say that I am the reason for that, but from out of the box, these go about 195 RPMs, so they are not too far off from 200. The capacitor was already slipping a little bit when I got this. It was going at about 185 RPM, so it still moved a good amount of air, but it was too slow for my taste even then. So I bought a 5 microfarad run capacitor off of Amazon. I actually bought 4, and I figured I would replace the 4.5 one with a 5 just to give it a little bit more oomph. And a little bit more oomph it has received. It is the most powerful fan in the house. outperforms the San Marino, the Panama 5, the 88 Premium, and the other Craftmades in the house, the Decorative, the American Tradition newer version upstairs, and the newest CXL. Obviously it would outperform my Max Air because, you know, the Max Air is, well, tiny. And yes, those are the other fans that I've currently installed in this house. Video will be coming on those whenever I feel like it. In all actuality, right now I had to remove them for something, but I had them installed, and I'm going to put them back up pretty soon because summer is around the corner and I cannot stand the other fans that the house came with, or some of which are just light fixtures. But with my room, I really couldn't stand having the Hampton Bay Island Hugger on a 9-foot ceiling, mind you, in here, so I put this back up because that was just torture. It was very noisy, bad capacitor. Those actually perform okay, but this one did not. It has no oomph because the capacitors are going kaput. And also, who in their right mind would put a Hugger on a 9-foot ceiling? And better yet, upstairs, why would you do it on a 10-foot ceiling? Also, the Saturn, which I had upstairs for a few months, also does not beat this fan at all. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the camera for those who have actually watched all the way to this video, or the end, close to the end. I will walk under it. This thing is just a constant stream of air, and it has a great downward and outward spread of air, which is something most of my fans cannot achieve. They're either downward like an original or outward like more Casablanca stuff. But this one does both, and it's actually really cool. So, looks beautiful as well in polished brass. You can see the volume equalizer vents. So it also has that blade fob from the time. I've never got one with a flat blade. I think that was an earlier thing. But I have the 3D blade, like what you see here. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I will make a video of this in the future with 4 and 5 blade configuration with no light kit and the original blades. But and I might also do a 5 blade with the rosewood because I've already got all 5 rosewood blades on the arms. I just didn't install one of them. I think what I'll do is I'll make a 5 blade video with the light kit you see here and everything, and in the rosewood, and then I'll make the original blades, which are white. They're not even glossy, sadly. They're just regular painted white. I'll make a video with those blades with no light, and it'll be 4.5 like my regular testing videos. Must add, the bearings are in perfect shape. It does have a little bit more added drag from the high gloss blade weight and the blade pitch, so it does stop kind of fast, but bearings are in perfect silent shape, and as you can see there really isn't a wobble. It's also really silent. There's no hum or anything because these older ones were made by Fan Thing still before they switched over OEMs in about 2011. So that's pretty much it. That's a little tiny thing of what I've been up to, and this might be the only video out for a while. I really don't know. I'm not going to commit to anything because life is just life. I mean, I'm not really sure what's going to even happen tomorrow. So anyway, that is pretty much it. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I am doing as well as I can, I suppose. So yeah, just figured I'd pop back in to do that. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.